The middle child of the 13-member family looked at disbelief as 9 of his sisters started arguing amongst themselves. He couldn't exactly help but feel guilty about this. All he needed to do was to keep his mouth shut. But given the good nature and truthful habits, he accidentally spilled some secrets and his sisters had about each other. Lincoln backed into the corner next to the fireplace, where it seems evident as the fists would soon fly very soon. His parents were holding Lily in their bedroom, which seemed like the best place to be in, but instead fate had other plans. Before another could fight to ensure, Lori whistled between her fingers, calling the attention of the others. "Hold on a second, girls. Why are we even fighting like this again?" "Because Miss Sporty here thinks that it's a car cleaning material need to do to my lisp. It's not happening something I can help, you know." Lisa glared at Lynn, some spit on her jock's face. "And since Miss Queen of the Mud here thinks that I'm snoring so loud, maybe I should fart louder." Lola pointed out at her twin. "Well, you shouldn't have known about it if Lincoln hadn't." The moment those words left Lana's mouth, the remaining sisters went wide-eyed before turning their attention to their only brother, who now was in the hallway towards safety of their parents' room. "Lincoln?" The boy went pale at the mention of his name. Before he knew it, he was surrounded by all sides of his siblings. Hi, girls!" "And just where do you think you're going?" Lola asked, huge frown on her face. He paused, trying to think of an excuse. "Nowhere, that's what," Lynn spat, cracking her knuckles. Wait, I'm sorry for accidentally spilling those secrets. I couldn't help myself before it came out," the boy stated, the fear evident in his voice. However, like predators who cornered their prey, this didn't faze their sisters. "While it is true those secrets you said were distasteful in nature, it was your responsibility not to speak a word to it to anyone else, especially on who it is. And now that trust you bond have been broken frequently as of late," Lisa stated in her usual monotone. "And thanks to your big mouth, me and Lenny started fighting again," Lori yelled in anger. "Thanks to you, our sister fight protocol didn't work like it should have. And all you'd had is one job, bro," Luna stated. "Don't get involved." All 9 girls spoke in an illusion. Those words again, sister fight protocol and don't get involved. The white-haired boy recalled it how as it seemed everyone but knew him about it. Rita and Lynn Sr., heck, even Bobby knew of it. No doubt because Lori texted him. It angered him that his sisters excluded him again from something that should have benefited all of them. But what did he get? Getting kicked out of his room twice. Couldn't eat lunch or use the bathroom, and getting his sheets taken, only to have a pile of dirty laundry dumped on him. Rather not hard and get involved when you have your things being used without your consent. Lincoln gritted his teeth in frustration. Normally he would have just taken to yelling and backed down, but not this time. The girls were making more complex than needed, and the solution was so simple that he honestly surprises the girls that hadn't realized it. Getting a heat stared back at his sisters. "What is so important about all this stupid protocol that you had just had to exclude me from it? Why is it that I can't enjoy things I want to do just because you and Lenny need space? You both aren't the only ones that live in this house, you know." "No, and I had been informed of it. None of this would have happened." "Okay, so my first idea didn't work. I thought that I could have pieced something else. And how am I supposed to not get involved if you keep taking over my room and using my stuff? Why can't you use some other place other than my place of peace? But since you are all being stupid, selfish, and not one thinking about this dumb system of yours isn't working properly, because you were probably as dumb as Lenny to realize it, I had to... He stopped his rant after noticing the angry glares his sisters were giving him. Each of the 9 girls had a look that was much harsher than what they would have had, but they were irritated, fueled by the rage of their constant arguing that would brawl. Each of the girls lightly tense and ready to unleash their anger on the boy that stood before them. Lincoln felt his blood run cold. Predatory stares from his siblings told him that he screwed up horribly, and that he was a prey that was about to meet its end. The boy flinched when he saw Lynn cracking her knuckles, followed by the rest of the girls instinctively clenching their fists. Sweat formed on the forehead, and his pupils shrank. Dang it! Poor choice of words, he thought to himself. Seeing that he was going to get pummeled to possible death, his mind could only think of one thing. Run. Passed free of his younger siblings, he lunged for the stairs as if he could make it to his room. He hoped that he could barricade his door and wait it out. Unfortunately, he was halfway up. Lynn tackled him and tussled him back down the stairs. Once at the bottom, the rest piled in. Now Lincoln was getting used to the fights with his sisters, to which he never won due to numbers. But this was much, much worse. It seemed as if they were hitting harder than they usually would, and had thoughts literally turned them into a human pretzel. Everything that was coming at him so fast, he didn't even know what was going on. All he knew was he was in pain and had to try to protect his face. He screamed in agony when getting himself kicked in the crown jewels. Instinctively, he moved his hands to protect his organ again and defined his gender. But this left his face still open. Several fists collided with a quick succession, giving him a blank black eye, missing teeth, and a broken nose, which had blood beginning to seep from it. He moved on his hands from his still sore area to protect his face. But just as a result, another foot stomping on it. The pain from both his face and nether region was conflicting on his brain, making it hard for Lincoln to decide which pain he needed to be more shielding. Against 9 people, it was almost impossible for Lincoln to protect himself. It just keeps coming, and the boy felt as if they were growing fiercer by each impact. He wasn't much like a fighter like Lynn. Even if he had tried to fight back, it wouldn't have made a difference. In fact, given that some of his younger siblings seemed stronger than him, his mind told him that if he kept his mouth shut, he wouldn't be in this situation, and then it would decide to remind him of all the things that he had pissed off his sisters. The video contest, the whole sweet spot ordeal, and now this? Part of Lincoln felt that he deserved after making such his sisters mad at him for the last time. But another part of him was it was just too much, even for them. The boy was pulled from his thoughts when one of his arms got stretched out and bent in a direction opposite to his natural bend. He screamed in agony as hits kept coming, tears finally falling down from his face like river flows from a mountain. In the parents' room, Rita and Lynn Sr. were huddled with their infant child, listening to the constant banging, fighting happening in the living room. I know they have fights before, but this is nuts, the prodigy of the family stated. I know, Rita stated, looking at Lily for a moment. Only reason she was with them because she was still very young, and the mother of 11 didn't like it when their child had fought over something trivial. Whatever it be, a bother to her, or neither her or Lynn could do much about it. So for the parents' sake, the daughters invented a sister fight protocol to help reduce the fighting in the house. However, this seems like it failed to. Lynn, I know we try to let our children handle issues themselves, but do you think we do little to stop them? The father nodded in agreement. I mean, we agree not to pick favors. We don't usually cause unintentional rivalry. At least more so than they already have. I don't even like saying this, but sometimes I couldn't help but think if we had a smaller family, but I can never think of how much fun and interesting ours is as it stands. Rita couldn't help but agree to that. However, she also noticed the noise had stopped, both now hearing the sounds of someone crying. Both assumed it was Lily, but even if she had a straight face and was confused. Cautiously, both the parents peeked out of the door. The sisters had stopped fighting, but now had looks of guilt and regret, shock and horror adorned on their faces. A few of them had their hands shaking unconsciously, with one of the girls staring at somewhat of a bloody digits. The source of the crying was coming from the center of their circle, which is now both the parents immediately worried. In all the years as their kids fought each other, it never resulted in someone wailing like they were in serious pain. Girls, what is going on? Lynn Sr. asked. The girls couldn't say anything, but instead Luna and Lenny parted a bit. and the looks on the adults' faces. It was all Rita had tears in her eyes. "Oh my God, Lincoln!"